they just don't know.
What I told you, Cutter.
People seen it, but they just don't know. People seen it, but they just don't know.
Huh?
People,
Let's go.
people seen it, but they just don't know. People seen it, but they.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Icon. And we here on 910 Sports TV once again. First and foremost, want to thank God for this opportunity to be on here and on this great platform to do big things. You know what I'm saying? Secondly, want to introduce my right-hand man. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys' biggest fan, that Prescott's future agent. Jacob the Great, you know what I'm saying, in the building. What's going on, fam?
Hey man, what's up? Good morning to all. Glad to be in the land of the living. Each day we get up, we got a chance and a choice and another day to get it all the way right, man. So we here, man, and hey man, ready for another great show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's get on right on to it, man. Go ahead and introduce this young man to us, man. So we get this thing rocking.
Man, this morning, man, we have Mr. Quinton Rankin. Man, out of the North Carolina area, Gastonia, Charlotte, that area, he's no stranger to, the canvas, the ring, to really folding people up, to knocking them out. He's definitely a fighter that's going to make history. So, without further ado, what's up, Queen? How you doing?
Oh, I'm blessed, brother. I'm blessed. I can't complain, man. I'm just a vet in the game, man. And I just love the game, man. So it's Q the chosen one, aka Q the real estate boxer. You know what I'm saying? So people know who I am. I wanted to stick. So yeah, man. I'm blessed, brother.
Right, right. So man, what made you want to get boxing?
Well, I was always an athlete, man. I was always an athlete. I was a ball player first. And I was actually, man, I had hoop dreams, man, and I ended up having an injury, and you know I was trying to play ball, and my boy was like, man, you know, boxing is something you could probably do during your injury, and we actually was on our way to church, man. It's so funny. We was on our way to church because I was telling them I was going through something at the time. And I was telling them like, man, I want to go to church. Went to church, man, and outside it was this guy named Rico Ray. He was showing us all these pictures of all these boxers, and he had pictures with like George Foreman. He had pictures with Ali. He had all these pictures. Rico Ray was a pro in the area, man. God rest his soul. And I didn't even go in the church. We was in the parking lot, man. We probably talked for hours, and he told me, oh, "Yeah, man, I train. If you want to come to the gym, I'll show you around." And that was 17 and a half years ago, man. And, once I went to the gym on that Monday, I've basically been a fighter ever since, man. So it's been history ever since then, man. God bless Rico Ray, man. R.I.P. to him.
Okay, okay, okay. So did you grow up liking and watching the sport or no?
Yeah, I love the sport, man. I love the sport of boxing, man. Like I said, I was a ball player first. We from North Carolina, so North Carolina is not really a boxing state per se, but we did have boxers in the area. We had Calvin Brock, Calvin Seabrook. We had a couple of good fighters. Ray Mercer. We had a lot of good fighters from North Carolina that I love. But my favorite fighter, my number one fighter, was Roy Jones Jr. And I actually got a chance to fight on the undercard of Roy Jones Jr. when he came to North Carolina. I was the co-main and Roy was the main event. And I actually got a article in the paper about it. But I fought this undefeated cat out of Florida because he brought a bunch of cats from Pensacola with him, man. So all of the fighters from North Carolina lost, all of them except for me. And I fought an undefeated guy, and won. And I think even right now, I think I'm the only fighter who ever beat him. His name was Craig Duncan. I think he was 5-0 or 6-0 at the time when I beat him. But yeah, so yeah, Roy was my guy. Sweet P is my number two. I would have to say Roy, Sweet P, and then Ali. They're my top three fighters. So I did grow up. Roy was my Mike Tyson for a lot of people. I grew up watching Roy, so he was the man. So Roy was my guy. You know, he's
Okay.
still my guy today.
Okay. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Man, man, you just mentioned one of a good friend of mine named Mr. Kevin
Which
Seabrook.
one?
Man, Kevin Seabrook.
Oh, oh yeah, that's
Oh
my
man,
dude. That's my.
yeah, that's my guy, man. That's my guy. Me and
You ask him
Kevin
about.
see
He knows me very well. That's my dude. But go ahead, tell me what
right,
you was
right,
gonna say.
right. Me and Kevin Seabrook met at the Mary Bethune McLeod Festival. Um
Hmm.
yeah, I was a speaker out there and he was too.
Hmm.
And um since 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 she is one of the co-founders of Bethune Cookman University, her daughter was the mayor of Maysville, South Carolina, and she gave Kev the keys to the city of Maysville, and I was a guest speaker as well. So you know what I mean. But yeah, man, I know Kev, man. Kev, good dude, man. Kev has did a lot in his career and has helped a lot of people. So you know what I mean. That's dope, man. So from where boxing is now until where it used to be, how do you like the process of the growth, and how do you like the changes?
Um. Well, boxing just I love boxing. I feel like a lot of people discredit a lot of these fighters and the skill set that a lot of these fighters have
Hmm.
because it was a lot. Back in the day, it was a little bit more of a bruising sport. It's still a hell of a sport. And what I mean by that is, I feel like the defensive skill set wasn't as important. You know what I'm saying? Like Sweet Pea was like very rare. People wasn't like defensive as much as they are today. A lot of fighters are, focused on making sure that they're not getting the type of damages that a lot of these fighters. It's not a lot of. I would have to say like 15 round wars. I think Calvin Seabrook fought one of the last 15 rounders in boxing history, actually.
Hmm.
So yeah, I feel like boxing has evolved now. I'm gonna say where boxing lacks. Boxing actually lacks in the fact that how they take care of their fighters. They don't really take care of their fighters, and a lot of people are critical on a lot of fighters. Like I was listening to a lot of people talk about the Tank Davis fight, talking about he fought a nobody, he fought this, and to me, that's just nonsense of the masses, man. When you say somebody's a nobody, this man had a huge amateur career, just as many amateur fights as Tank. He was a decorated amateur just because he haven't had the platform that Tank had. A lot of people just talk reckless about fighters they don't know. You don't know a fighter that doesn't mean he's a nobody. You don't know him. Everybody was nobody at some time. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was a nobody.
Uh huh.
So you
Yeah.
can't discredit a fighter because you don't know him. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the guy that fought Crawford. They called that guy nobody, the Russian guy, but he actually, if you watch his fights before Crawford, he was actually highly skilled. They called him a nobody. You get what I'm saying? So, they called Danny Jacobs a nobody until he fought Canelo and Triple G. So, the people that don't really follow fighting, they'll call somebody a nobody that really don't understand. I fought a lot of world champions. I even fought Dave Morrell. People called him a nobody. You know what I'm saying? He's a world champion. Like I fought Chad Dawson. I've been in there with Peter Quillen. I've been in there with Andre Durrell. I've been in there with Zerto Ramirez. I've been in there with Jake Paul. I've been in there, and people will say somebody's a nobody, but it's like if you in the sport, fighters know fighters. You know what I'm saying? People know me. I didn't talk to B Hop. I done met so many great fighters. Roy, people will say, "Oh, you're a nobody," but like, yeah, but I've been in the ring with so many great Hall of Fame world champions. Just because you don't know, and that's your lack of knowledge, doesn't mean a fighter's a nobody. So, like I said, people learned last night. Like Roach did a fantastic job the way he fought, and I just don't like the way the fans deal with fighters nowadays. If you lose, you're not good. If you do this, you're not good. Man, fighters had 7, 8 losses back in the day, man, and they still was a dog. Like
Mm.
they'll automatically make you not a dog if somebody beats you. It's like, bro, he's still a dog, bro. He lost, but he's still a dog. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like the way the Mayweather effect affected boxing, man. Nobody discredited Tyson when he lost. Nobody discredited Holyfield when he lost. Nobody discredited Sweet Pea when he lost. Nobody discredited Oscar De La Hoya when he lost. And it's like one loss and you're no good. That evolution of boxing is the worst thing for the sport, man. It don't matter how many losses a fighter got. The only fighter they showed mercy in this generation is Pacquiao. I literally watched Pacquiao get swept, and then he still was greater than Floyd. I seen him lose to Floyd. He still was greater than Floyd. He's the only fighter that I ever watched in the sport of boxing that they don't give black fighters no mercy. If you lose a fight and you black, oh you watch. You watch. So I that part of the evolution of boxing, I'm not feeling that part. But as far as the sport of boxing, I feel like these fighters are a lot more defensively savvy, and man, it's a lot of good skills in the sport, man. They messed it up by not giving it free too. So,
Mm.
that's my
Okay,
All right.
okay,
no more.
okay.
We're gonna
Go
take a
ahead.
quick break and we'll be right back here on 910 Sports. Okay, we back here on 910 Sports. We with boxer Quinton Rankin. So I got a question because you kind of some of the stuff you was talking about and it kind of going to my question. So and one thing when I you look at your record and people say, oh man, look at the man record, he ain't no good. And to me, I actually feel like it's more. I kind of respect you more than if I would respect somebody like you say a Roy Jones, Mike Tyson early when they 30-0 and 25-0. And because for you, when you got some wins and you got some L's. And that's like life. So what makes you motivates you to keep wanting to go back in the ring, knowing you might not be one of the most like dominant boxers, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So what motivates you to go back in the ring?
Well, when it comes to me and my career, you know, I'm I'm from an old school club, bro. I'm a dog in this sport. So if you ever been in there with me, you ask any fighter who been in there with me, even fighters that maybe I got beat by, people will let you know like I ain't afraid. And I think that when you're a dog, a lot of people discredit you if you lose to like a world champion, which is insane. It's almost like if you think about basketball, right? Is LeBron trash because he lost to Curry, or is he trash because he lost to Dirk Nowitzki, or is he trash because he lost a lot of finals, or is Curry bad because he lost to LeBron? I mean, I think that with me, what motivates me to get back in the ring I'm a fighter who learns. So every fight that I lost, I learned from it. So I look at these fights as okay, what did I learn? What did I get hit with? And how can I make those adjustments? I didn't have a so I fought Chad Dawson, bro. I literally picked a random person to work my corner. I dropped Chad Dawson. If you watch that fight, I dropped Chad Dawson. I felt like I won. And I was basically taking fights on a Bahumba because I just believed that with my skill set, even though I didn't have really a coach, I was taking fights. I was taking any fights, all comers. So I'm truly like the definition of a dog, man. I've been doing this. I had my son in my corner, man. My son is, I think he was 14 or 15 at the time. I fought in with Wyoming. I think I fought this undefeated kid. We fought for like WBB or some kind of like small title, and I ended up stopping him. But yeah, man, I had my son in my corner. He worked my corner, man. I'm just one of those guys, man. I'm not afraid of nobody. I'm not afraid to lose. I think a lot of people are afraid to like lose, and I feel like with my life, I'm playing it with house money. This is house money for me, man. Like my life was so much worse before boxing. So it's like life, bro. If you lose a job, you don't stop trying to work. You know what I'm saying? Like I lost a fight. I'm still gonna go to
Right.
work. Like that's what I do. I'm a fighter for real. I'm not no. I don't play fighting. Like fighting literally pays my bills. I don't play with this. I actually fight. If I'm not in camp with somebody getting paid for sparring, then I'm fighting. I done been Canada. I've sparred Better Be. I've sparred so many. I've sparred so many world champions, man. I've been to the Virgin Islands. I've been to Puerto Rico. I've been to the UK. I've been to Canada. Man, I like people don't even understand. Like when I'm not fighting, I'm still getting paid. I even personal train. So boxing pays me all around. So I am a pro's pro on every level. So what keeps me motivated? The fact that I love the game. I love to fight. I love to learn. Like even my last fight, I fought this Olympian and I got hit. Both of the times that I've like been stopped or dropped and never been knocked out, but I have been dropped. It was from an uppercut. Dave Morrell hit me with an uppercut. This last Cuban guy, Colombian guy, hit me with an uppercut. So what I learned was instead of being in the high guard, because the high guard has holes, I learned to use the Philly. So if the punch comes under, I can catch. And these are things that I learned that if you're not in the game, you won't understand the adjustment. But I didn't learn from a coach. I had to learn from just looking at tape. I gotta go back and look at myself over and over and over and over again and learn how to make those types of adjustments. So I'm a true student of the game, man. So even now I'm still in shape. I'm still working, and to me the best is yet to come. I know that's hard for some people to think because you think of, oh, he lost, he this, he that. But if you look at my career, I I've lost two, and then I win four, and I lose two, and then I win five or six. So I think that it's just because I have to fight like that. I have to take a fight. I have to learn, and then I have to get back out there and learn for myself. Nobody's teaching me. A lot of this is self-taught. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with it.
Well, see, I'm gonna say this too. I feel like when it comes to like your a lot of fans, and you tell me how you feel about this. I think they need to look at the way they judge fights because you have
Mm,
so many fights where with your naked eye. I don't care if you're the average fan or you're a casual fan. You can tell with your naked eye that somebody beat this person because of the politics of it all or because of whatever they want this person to stay where they're at. Then they'll find any kind of reason to give that fight to that person. I mean, we've seen it back in the day with Sugar Ray Leonard. So this not like a new thing. I've seen Sugar Ray Leonard fight. I think it was Hearns or Hagler, one of them. I think it was Hagler, and Hagler was pretty much beating the brakes off of him the whole fight. And they gave it they gave the fight to Sugar Ray, which
I gave
caused
the Sugar Ray.
the way to
mm.
cause
Yeah,
Hagler to
yeah, man.
retire.
So with that, Icon, you breaking up. So go ahead.
Oh, I'll say it because him to move and go and move to move the Europe after the fight. So what do you feel about the point system and how they do that? Before you answer, we're gonna take a quick break and I want you to answer that on the other end.
Yes, sir.
Oh, we back here on 910 Sports. So yeah, let's go into that thing about the whole how they judge these fights.
Well, fights are judged. Well, I'm gonna say this: fights should be judged off of aggression, effective counterpunching, and it should be judged off punches landed, right? But the problem is when you're looking at politics, it's not just judged off that. It is who is generating the most money. I'll give you a great example on fighters who have lost, but they gave him the nod. Canelo, he 100% lost to the Cuban guy. What's my guy's name? He just Lar. He lost to Lar. If you go watch that fight, go watch it round by round. He literally lost to Lar. and they gave it to Canelo. You get what I'm saying? It was one of those fights that's like, what? Y'all gave him the nod, and you see it all the time, man. You see it where guys, if they're pushing a certain guy, if he is the cash cow, we can a great example last night, and I love Tank. I love Tank. Now, understanding that Tank is one of my favorite fighters, but if y'all saw the fight. Now, y'all know punch for punch, counter punching effectiveness. You're talking about aggressiveness. You're talking, Tank was on his back foot a lot of that fight. You know what I'm saying? And he never really turned the tides where it was like, I think he is in full control. I did think that Tank looked like he had the potential to hurt Roach, but he never displayed the dominant Tank performances that we are used to. And I think that he got the nod or the draw that shows you that politics, you got to keep these guys undefeated based off public relations and how people view fighters. As soon as you get an L, it ain't like back in the day in the 90s or in the 80s. You lose, you be like, oh, I want to see that rematch. We know that's going to be good. You be like, oh, he trash. He's garbage. Tank is washed. He can't do it no more. You know how I go. I was just looking at some of the comments, and it's just like, man, these people really don't understand the sport of boxing. They just
Well,
don't get it.
well, I'm gonna say this about Tank. He looked a little off last night.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
he looked like he didn't train as much for this fight as I seen other fights,
yeah,
and he kind of looked like he had been tossing up with some girls. You know what I mean? Like he been partying a little bit too much instead
oh
of
yeah,
taking that full time to train and like stay out the bar, stay out the clubs. Train, eat, work
yeah,
out, pray, go home. Like you can
yeah,
tell he was a little off, cause you can tell his back pedaling on the right side looked really really slow. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell like he looked like he was kind of losing footing sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Tank one of my favorite guys too, but I've seen him in far more better shape than I seen him last night.
oh yeah, 100%. I agree. What you think about that, my man?
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. The one thing I commend like Mayweather on, because a lot of people are like to criticize Mayweather, say he didn't fight the best fighters and this, that, and the third. But I felt like in like Mayweather's career, the people he fought or whatever was the De La Hoya or whoever, or he made them look made them look average. And the reason why
Yeah,
he made them look average is because his training regimen, like people don't understand. Mayweather worked out twice a day year round. He never took days off on his own workouts. It's like LeBron. They never take days off even in the off season. So I think what happens is a lot of time when you see boxers at their height, whether it's last night with Tank, whether it was Mike Tyson, whether it was even after Buster Douglas won the title, they start to believe they own like drink their own Kool Aid, and they get so big, and they all when they off like Jacob was saying, when they off with the girls and they clubbing and doing all that, and they're not taking their training seriously. And nobody, like
right.
you said, nobody took this other guy seriously last night. So if nobody
Yeah.
else takes him seriously, you think Tank gonna take him seriously? You know what I'm
Well,
saying? So I think that's kind
yeah,
of what happened.
yeah, I think when it comes to like you see the way the public is as a fighter, you can never not take a fighter seriously. You can never sleep on a fighter. You know what I'm saying? You can never sleep on a fighter. And I'm gonna tell you, man, it's when you do that that the result is always bad for you. I think when I fought Dave Morrell, he was maybe 4-0. I had just came off of fighting Dawson. So in my mind, I was like, ain't no way this dude is better than Chad Dawson. It's no way. Guess what? I was wrong. He was better than Chad Dawson. You get what I'm saying? He was better than Chad Dawson. And so anytime a fighter underestimates any fighter, you're actually lowering your chance of winning. I, all the time. So it's like this. If this fighter, right, if he knows how dangerous you are, and then you say, oh man, he ain't really like that. The moment I hear a fighter say you ain't like that, that's when I feel like that's a window of opportunity for you to get upset. You cannot ever say that a fighter isn't like that because I'm gonna tell you this. He got two hands, he got two sets of gonads, and he got a soul and a heart. Meaning that he still has the ability to hurt you, to beat you, or to outthink you. So you have to give anybody props, any man props when he's getting in that ring, and you got to take him seriously. And if he's not that good, then you need to beat the brakes off of him and show you that he's not on your level. Tank didn't display that last night. What Tank did was he showed that either he was out partying, he either slept on this dude, or he wasn't the same Tank. And I feel like even that change of trainer, having a different trainer in his corner, having he didn't have his man as his chief no more. He was in the corner, but he wasn't really the main voice. I felt like all of these things was a perfect recipe for Roach to come in and really shine. And my hat goes off to Roach because Roach actually did. He exceeded expectations because nobody thought that Roach was going to even go the distance. Not only did Roach go the distance, but I think that arguably he could have even been called the winner. They could have even raised his hand in that fight based off output, based off counterpunching, and of course Tank landed the bigger shots. But if you're talking about a overall performance, and I'm not saying that Tank flat out lost because you got to take it from the champion, but I am saying that Tank did not show Tank's full ability, slept on Roach, and Roach actually really had a lot of people who thought that he wasn't going to go the distance. I think he shocked a lot of people, man. A lot of people owe that man an apology. I heard so many podcasts say that this man did not deserve to be there. Nah, he deserved to be there, and you got to give that man his props.
You're right. He did deserve to be there, but I think why people saying that is based on they didn't know who he was and they didn't know who
Mm,
he already fought, and so
mm,
you don't really look at fighters when they don't have a big name. Tank is all over the internet at all times.
yeah.
Tank is in pictures outside of boxing with some of your favorite athletes as well. So Tank has what we call that limelight brand, and so I think based off you know punches landed based off you know um technical engagement when it comes to like boxing. I think that yeah, Tank landed some very very superior heavy punches and some punches that stood out. But man, the amount of punches that I've seen Tank throw in the past, this right here wasn't close, man.
Nah,
It wasn't.
but
It wasn't, man. And so I'm I'm wondering, the political form of boxing and the political stance that's gonna keep the viewers happy, keep the money rolling in, keep the networks happy, and does the box commission have a contract with the network and the fighter? But sometimes I believe it be some type of contract with the fighter that his people or the boxing commission don't know about. It be some backdoor stuff, and they got to do certain things to really keep that political thing going. You know what I mean? To keep the fans happy, to really keep that money moving. So, what do you think about that?
well, I think that when it comes to boxing, man, boxing it boils down to A side and B side, right? So an A
Hmm.
side fighter, anytime you think about an A side fighter, you think about the fighter that all of the people in public, the public want to see. So you got
Okay.
an A side and a B side, okay? So that's an unspoken and a spoken rule. So that means that think about it. When they introduced the promotion company, it was GTD Promotion, Tank Davis Promotion. All right, so that automatically tells you that he automatically has one in the hand. So what I mean by that is if it's a GTD promotion, that means that that's his team that brought everybody out, not Roach. You know what I'm saying? It's like Mayweather Promotions. Mayweather's team brought everybody out. That's a Mayweather promotion. So it's not necessarily that it's an unspoken rule. We all understand that in politics, in boxing, that if you are the champion or you are the guy, you don't get dominated 99% of the time. The worst case scenario is a draw. That's has been throughout the boxing history. All these champions have to do is not get dominated and not get dropped. That's throughout history. So we all know it's not necessarily like a contract. It's just like you understand. Like if a guy who AKA is a nobody and he don't drop the champion, he don't outbox the champion every round. It could be close. The champion is always 20-9, and it's not something that's new. It's just more obvious and more prevalent because you're paying way more money nowadays. You get what I'm saying? You gotta pay for a pay per view. It ain't just like you getting Friday night fights or you getting Tuesday night fights, which kind of hurt boxing because we don't get boxing for free anymore, not the big fights. So it's politics, man. You know how it go, man. If you ain't from there, if it ain't your hometown, or if you ain't the promotion company, or you ain't AKA the cash cow, you're not getting no nod, man.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
I'll take another quick break and we'll be right back. Okay, we back. We back here on 910 Sports, I'm gonna say that too is because I feel like it's not necessarily like a contract, and like you said, it's an unwritten rule because basically a lot of times you want a rematch too. You want to make sure it can be set up. It can be set up for a rematch. So like you said, that whole saying, you know what I'm saying, you to beat a champ, you got to beat the champ, and that's
Yes,
basically that terminology comes from boxing because if you don't flat out dominate or flat out almost knock a boxer out, especially if they the cash cow. Got to think
yes,
boxing is one of those sports that's kind of like a not dying sport to the fan, the average fan. So Tank, Crawford, certain boxers, you got to keep them at the top as long as you can. Because if those boxers start getting beat, then all of a sudden the fan like I ain't about to, especially pay per view. I'm not paying to see this person versus this person. And I'm gonna say this about a boxer like you. To me, you would scare me more if I was a Tank or a Crawford, because if I hit you in the mouth and you don't go down, I'm gonna be like, oh shoot, I'd have hit this man with my best shot. He's supposed to be out of here. So now you
uh-huh,
might get it green, and especially if you shake it off and you smile at him and you say something to him. I don't know if you're a type of boxer you talk junk in the ring, but if you say
right,
something to him or you smile and give him a look like, yeah, you hit me with your all you had, you still ain't get me. So to me, you
right,
would scare me more than anything as a boxer. You know what I mean?
right, right. Yeah, yeah. I can understand that because a lot of fighters, you got to understand, fighters. A lot of these fighters, man, they looking for an easy fight, and they looking for a fighter that can run through. And it is very shocking. I mean, look at what happened last night with Tank. Got in there with Roach, and everybody said this, and I don't know if y'all seen it, but he looked concerned. He looked concerned the whole fight. Like when I watched Tank, I never seen Tank look that concerned. Like even though, like, what was his last fight? He stopped. He stopped. What was the guy's name? The big swole guy that came out of Spence's camp. I forgot his name. Frank Martin. Frank Martin. So he fought Frank Martin, right? He was walking Frank down, and Frank was busy. Tank never looked like he wasn't in control. He never looked like he was so concerned about Frank. Even though Frank put up a heck of a performance, it was not the same Tank. He just didn't look like he looked concerned. He looked like he even patted he even like was giving them props in the middle of the round, like letting them know like, dang bro, you're doing good. Like I seen him pat his chest going to the corner. I'm like, bro, if you don't go in here and hurt this man, go hurt this man. It's not y'all not friends right now. I don't care if y'all how much history you got. Y'all are not friends. This man was touching this man's chest. He was patting him on his shoulder. It's like, bro, come on, man. Like people ain't paid to see that. You need to go in there and dominate that man. He just looked concerned. And Roach, he didn't never give Tank that kind of props. He didn't pat Tank. He was like, "Bro, I'm trying to knock you out. I'm not giving you no props." And I feel like that that right there, man. A lot of champions are not used to being resistant on. Like you getting that resistance, and you're not used to like somebody like really believing that they can win. You used to like dominating, and I think Tank went through that last night. Now, do I think if they do a rematch, because I think it is a rematch clause. I heard them talking about that. Do I think that Tank should beat him? He should dominate him. Yeah. Will he? I don't know, man. I honestly I don't know. So
Sometimes styles make fight. Now let me ask y'all this question. I don't know if one of y'all seen this. So and let me know how you would handle this, Quinton. So I seen Roach. He was on $1 million worth of game podcast, and I know
mm,
TV and podcast is a lot different, but I felt like he was getting very highly disrespected by Wallow, because Wallow
oh
just
yeah.
kept talking about how Tank was gonna put him to sleep, and he was gonna get him a mattress deal, and so because once he gets put to sleep by 7 o'clock, he was gonna
Yeah.
The
lay on the.
disrespect.
I'm
Oh
like,
man.
The
dang, I'm like, oh, that's kind of
disrespect, man.
disrespectful for you to bring
Oh yeah.
somebody on your show, you disrespect them like that. I'm like, I don't know if they knew each other when and they was playing, but I'm like, Tank is from Baltimore. If he was from Philly, I could understand them campaigning for a Philly dude. But Tank from Baltimore, so I'm like, what is this all about? So tell me how you would have handled it, how you would have felt about that.
Well, I think the way that he handled it was fantastic, and Wale he done disrespected a lot of fighters, man. I mean, he just disrespected what's his name what's my young boy's name Davis. He a Davis too. Um, I forgot, but he said the same thing to him too, and I was thinking to myself like it is when people say things like that as a fighter, I would say this. I would have said this. You know, it is fitting that you would say that in your position. It is fitting that you would say that when you don't get punched in the face for a living. It is fitting that you would say that from where you're sitting, from the stands. You're not in the ring. So of course you would say that. And that's your guy. And so rather than getting emotional about it, you have to understand these guys put you on their platform. You're not going to, and because we're not rappers, bro. We're not rappers. We are entertainers, but we are
Right.
not rappers. Rappers gotta talk tough. Boxers don't have to talk tough because guess what? Our toughness is on display. We don't have to say, "Oh, I'll do this. Oh, I'll do that." We don't have to say that. We only have to say that to the people we fight. Why? Because that's an even playing field. For me to say that I'm gonna beat somebody up in the streets, it doesn't give me props because I'm a fighter. For me to fight or go after an interviewer or get mad at an interviewer, like y'all could have came, like y'all invited me on y'all platform. Y'all could have straight played me if y'all wanted to. If it wasn't like y'all had some kind of human decency, you could have been like, man, I think you're a bum. I don't really think you're that good. And rather than going back and forth, I wouldn't even get upset about it because at the end of the day, I would get upset, but it wouldn't be the type of upset that you may think, because I feel like as a fighter, I have to prove that I'm tough every day. Every day I get in the ring, I have to prove. So Wale was ultimately disrespectful, but the way Roach handled himself with so much class, it lets
Well,
you know,
hold on.
like,
Make sure we say Wallow, not Wale. We don't want people thinking we talking about the
oh,
rapper.
Wallow,
Wallow.
no, right, Wallow, my bad, Wallow.
Yeah,
Hey,
make sure
listen,
we get that right.
I'm messing up on his name just like he messed up how he talked to Roach last night, or he talked to Roach on that spot. But what I'm saying is that people are going to say things that are disrespectful, and I think that you have to have tough skin in the state of boxing. Like I've had so many people say things that were disrespectful to me, but they never got in the ring. So it's almost like you would say something like that. So I don't even take it personal, man. Some people get it. Some people understand that it takes a lot of listen, courage is something that people will knock you for. If you got courage, if a guy is 0 and 18, he still got courage. I don't care if he's not winning. He has a certain level of courage that a lot of people don't have. So anybody who gets in the ring, man, you got to give them some type of respect. Even if you don't respect their career, you got to give them some type of respect for as a man, So that's how I feel about that.
We're gonna take our last break, and we'll be right back to wrap this thing up. Okay, we back here on 910 Sports. Shout out to our affiliates, Zeno FM, our 191 countries, and our several radio stations, over 10 radio stations, and our 168 radio that are also this our own radio station that we have, 168 radio. So everybody, please check that out. This episode will be on there also. So Jacob, you got any more questions before we let this young man get out of here?
Yeah, Quinton, man, what's uh what's next for you, man? And what's the upcoming fight and for the inspiring people that want to get into boxing, man? How can they get in with you for a training section or just a mentor section? You know what I mean? So
Sure.
if you can kind of get that to us and then tell people how to find you at.
Well, what's next for me, man? I'll go with that one. Right now, I'm in the gym and I'm training. I'm working on a lot of my flaws, man. So, I'm in the gym. I'm training. I'm working. So I just been traveling and sparring, man. And right now, I'm looking for a fight, man. I got a passport, so it's possible I was gonna fight overseas. So I'm basically looking for a fight, man. I could have fought Jesse Hart. I'm looking to fight anybody at this point, man, because at this point, man, I'm a journeyman, and I'm trying to get from journeyman to because I'm a gatekeeper. What I am is in boxing is a gatekeeper. What a gatekeeper is like if you can't beat me, you can't go to the next level. You get what I'm saying? And so I'm the guy in the doorway. Now I beat one of the prospects, and I go from gatekeeper to the prospect, but right now I'm a gatekeeper. So at this point, man, I'm ready to fight all challenges, all comers. Now, how do you find me? You can find me on IG, Q the Chosen One. You can find me on my podcast, Get This Work podcast. You can go to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is I'm uploading a lot of different stuff on my YouTube channel. You can find it at Get This Work, a podcast, YouTube. I basically go and I talk about like people need like weight loss tips. Like say for instance people trying to make weight. Instead of going to run, because some people do that at weigh-in, I tell you to rub Abilene on your body, take the go to the hotel and get into some hot water and just lay. You can lose 2 or 3 pounds just for laying in hot water. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't know, you ain't got to run, jump rope the day before a fight. You actually need to be trying to rest and stay off your feet. So I got a lot of little savvy things that I do. I've lost 3 or 4 pounds day of weigh-in because I understand how the body works, how to lose weight. So I'm a vet. I'm a true veteran in the sport, man. So if you want to find me, go to YouTube, go to IG, go to Facebook, Quinton Rankin, aka Q the Chosen One, aka Q the Real Estate Boxer Man. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to anybody who uses this platform who wants to find me. You heard this particular podcast. Y'all make sure y'all holler at me, man. Let me know what's up, man. I need inspiration. Hey, I even need motivation, man. Some people are negative, man. I use that as motivation too. So, man, I use it all.
Hey, I will say this before we go. So I instantly liked you before we started. When you said you're gonna change your name to the real estate boxer, because I said for one it shows empowerment, and that you got because everybody just think boxers just a lot of times old good check kid from whatever. That's all they got going on. But you show range, and I said, shoot, what crazy you could be? Something crazy you could do. You could start coming to a ring with a suit and tie on, and like with
Yes,
those
sir.
tear off outfits. Come to the ring with a
Yep.
suit and briefcase. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir. Yes,
You gotta do
sir.
something different. You know what I mean? So I'll be
Yes,
like,
sir.
damn,
That's exactly. Yep.
you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
Yeah,
that
that's
would be
exactly
something
that's
crazy to
my Yeah, man, that's actually my game plan, man. I'm actually looking for a person to design that for me because the thing about it is, I know where I'm at in my career. I'm realistic to where I'm at in my career. I'm a gatekeeper, but a gatekeeper is still a man who can. I'm still in a good place where I can upset the right fighter. I can win the right fight, but I want to stand out, and I feel like becoming the real estate boxer is going to separate me because they're gonna be like, well, what is this dude about? Can he really fight? I've been in there with so many world champions that you just gotta be able to you got to be able to do something that sets you apart from everybody else. So yeah, man, y'all follow me, follow my career, man. Follow me on social media, man. I'm definitely trying to do something different within the sport, and yeah, man, I'm trying to make some noise while I still can. God's will, man.
But get Jacob afterwards. I might got somebody for you down here in Atlanta. I'm from North Carolina too, so I'm gonna be rooting for you. But I got somebody down here in Atlanta that designs. He does like a one-off designs, so he might be able to help you out with that. So you know what I'm saying.
Okay,
I might link. I'm gonna try to see if I can link you with him to see if y'all maybe he could put something together. You know what I
okay,
mean?
that's a bet, man. I appreciate that, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, yes, sir. So anyway, man, y'all have a blessed and wonderful day, man. See y'all next week, and I appreciate you coming on, big dog.
Yes, sir. I
Peace.
appreciate it, man. Y'all take care. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.